Welcome back, everyone. Let's play Airport CEO episode number 4. In the off little time period, I picked up Peter Toth and I trained him a fair amount. So you can see that his this is the benefit of hiring and then training. Hiring cheaper and then training is that you can see that I picked him up for, I think it was around 16, around this skill level. I trained him up to here. He's only costing under 23 an hour for, like 80% skill, maybe even higher. And we can see that somebody who I didn't hire for that is at 24 for about the same level. It just shows you that you can pick up. I mean, George Vlahos here is the best example. We picked him up and trained him. Can't go all the way, right? He's only about maybe 75%. I don't know. Maybe I'm off on all these numbers. Maybe that is actually like 80%. This is like 85 or something. But anyways, he's only costing us 14 an hour, which is just amazing. Versus the other one here, Faith. I think unfortunately she's a little bit overpriced, considering she appears to be also at about the same as George, 75-80% or so, and she's the most expensive. Not quite. We have Madi here, who is pretty high up there. But yeah, so we should in theory fire Faith and pick up somebody new, but I'll do those kind of things off camera. For now, let's keep going. And we have plenty of new things to do. First of all, I want to extend the airport to take advantage of the new spots that we have there. So I'm going to grab this and drag it over. There's a nice copy button down here, which I'm going to use again to get the seats as well. So we have seats and a little entrance in all those places. Then when those are built, we'll be able to attach them to these places, and then we'll add these places as part of the taxiway. It's not currently done. One of the next steps for me is to get the fuel stuff going on for the gas and all that. Now, I do plan to eventually move the parking lot over right here, or maybe right here, and then here will be where we currently have the avgas down here, but I want it up here, and I want the A1 commercial stuff right next to it. The commercial stuff is only going to be at the terminal itself. I mean, unless I decide later to have like shuttles to commercial flights up here, which I could do. But anyways, I'm just explaining that my motivation for putting the fuel, which is under, I always get it wrong, that even though it's a car and it's part of the delivery truck and all that, the fuel depots are still, it's not like it's crazy. It makes sense, are under the airplanes. Okay, there's 5, so that's enough room for the garage or for the large depot for the avgas if we want to go for that. But I think that for now we'll just stick with doing this right there. And in theory, that means that we can keep building our terminal out further. I don't know if we'd ever go that far, but let's get that down. And we're not going to need... So there's this other interesting thing. I also want to look at our loop. I was going to say another interesting thing about when we add an entrance here, because right now we have a loop which enters and exits in the same spot, but this is another thing we can do, and I might as well just do it now. We can also build an entrance on this side. Here we go. Voila! It's only $1,500, so it's not that bad to do. And then what we can do is we can connect this up, and then we can make that one-way road, which obviously it should be. And then we have now a loop which does not have to traverse fully this left to right area. So basically we can allow people to navigate this area however they like. Set long-term parking has lower turnover cars and should be placed further away. Yeah, so we might do that eventually, but right now we can see even the short-term parking it's pretty efficient. It's definitely storing a lot of people. So our loop, I think, has been successful, and it's most visible, of course, when there's a lot of airplane traffic going on. By the way, I did make sure we get as many flights as possible. It looks like we are still missing one, so let me grab one more, pick it up. So 20 is probably what it was. This is 20. Yes, this was 30. That's only 50 minutes between. Normally, I like to do an hour and 10. Honestly, it should only be an hour, so this is 8, and this one is 9-10. I probably can cut that down to just an hour. Now again, when you're doing medium commercial flights, I don't know about that. The auto planner being at 30 minutes here, this feels a little bit dangerous. We'll probably go up to 45 minutes, although we're not using that, and that does require That does require an extra personnel. I think the chief something officer, I don't know which one. Oh, another thing is people pointed out I don't have a bathroom. Thank you for pointing it out, first of all. I'm gonna miss a lot of little things like that. But with your helpful eyes, keep me directed on the right course. Now, the funny thing about this is I originally, in another game, made a bathroom which is not a rectangle, and I was shocked. It's shocking to me that there's no system to allow for bathrooms not to be non-rectangular. I mean, I can't do something like this because, I mean, I can't do something like this and then go over like that. I mean, you wouldn't do that, but I mean, I'm just trying to say that you can have a room with more than 4 sides. And a bathroom can be more than 4 sides in real life. In fact, I imagine they're very rarely exactly a rectangle. But in this game, you cannot do that. So we're stuck with this. I'm just going to make this a small bathroom. That probably makes the most sense to me. And I did a little bit of an experiment. I'm not completely sold on if this is possible. Oh yeah, we need to... So this is the actual area which you cannot do. So if I do this and then I wanted to like remove part of it, it asks me to delete the whole bathroom. So it's not like you can extend it and then trim it back or anything like that. Like RimWorld has much better... I mean, I guess Prison Architect, almost anything. I don't understand how they don't allow you to do that. I mean, it's actually just very surprising to me. But again, it all goes back to my, like, I don't want to overdo this, but this claim I continue to make that I think that this game has a UX problem. And I stand by that for sure. I do think this has a UX problem. It's not particularly good at everything it's trying to do. Alright, so this bathroom is done. It's only missing a door and, you know, walls and everything being put in there. You know, just minor things. But at least the planning of it is all done. So we'll let that get constructed eventually, and then people won't have to worry about wetting their pants while they wait for the next airplane to come. I sympathize. Got to continue to upgrade this. Eventually you can get an auto upgrade thing, but we're not there yet. And I did stick on the 5th person, did I not? Did I? Did I not? Yeah, good. We got all 5 people on advanced runway lighting. So, that's nice. Oh, okay, good. So we must have some airplanes landing or something like that. So we have some traffic. And it is a mess. Okay, so now that we have this loop not established yet, this is now going to be an entrance, and this is now going to be an exit. Alright, so figure it out, people. In fact, let me help you a little bit by saying that this is no longer one way. It no longer needs to be one way, and that's where the one way begins. Okay, good. But otherwise the loop looks like it's working. I mean, there was some traffic built up here. I think it might have been just confusion about this. Yeah, I think this is great actually, because now, I mean, in theory, I'm going to have another one of these and even another one of them, potentially, depending on how big our terminal ends up getting, you know, how successful we are. Really, it'll depend on how far the series goes, because I think that it's possible to keep spreading it out like this. That's what I have in my mind. But the series probably won't make it to that point in time. Alright, good. So it does look like our main tank was filled. I just want to mention to you, I've seen this 100 times where your fueling tank will come in and leave. And then it'll come in again and leave. And I don't know why they do that, but sometimes they just get stuck in some weird routine. And I have recordings of it that are not posted because I redid those videos, but it's happened many times, so I wonder if that's also just some kind of bug. I mean, I wouldn't call that a UX issue, right? That's just the thing isn't doing what it should do. It's a bug. But now that we have that going, we can also get the vehicle itself. So let's buy the A1. And that'll be our mechanism of fueling. So we have that. The vehicle will go park here. And let's go ahead and also attach the boarding desks that we have to the appropriate stands. Now these aren't considered intact yet because they have no taxiway, which we can also add, but I wanted to make sure to turn off the ability of general aviation to access them. These are now for only commercial flights. And now that that's done, no problem. We can have them land there. Now right now it doesn't really matter that we have this extra gates because we're capped. We're already capped 25 on the flights. If I go to Tuesday, we're missing 2, but I mean look, we can easily fill that in among the many, many flights that people are offering us. My goodness. So 520, firm. I think I will slowly move these around, or maybe I'll let... what always ends up happening is, like, I never get a day where they all coincidentally disappear. So eventually at some point you just have to be like, okay, I'm going to start moving them by myself. I'm just going to start forcing change. But we don't have to do that yet. In fact, yeah, see, we're at 25. So this is fine for me, the starting at 5 and getting this last one at 5:30. But the next one I think will start at 9 and go to 9:30. And then it'll be very well organized that way. So, but that's not, we're not quite to that point. Okay, so this, I think we would benefit from having some more parking structures here. Let's get some sidewalk, crosswalk I mean, here. And then we'll take some sidewalk, which is gonna be, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We want 7 tiles long, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's correct. Then start building some parking structures. Because it looks like people are using them, and they do earn you some money. We'll take a look at that in a second. But now that this road is no longer necessary, this can become just purely the parking structure offshoot. I think that's really nice. So you have the main loop, but if for people who want to take the little service road here, that's how they'll get to the parking structures. Perfect. So I mean, at least I think it's good. Whether or not they think it's good or not, which is, you know, pretty important too. I don't know. Anyway, let's also get some fencing in here, because this is, you know, the fence I had was destroyed. We'll get some fence gate. Where's the fence gate going, by the way? It looks like, funny enough, yeah, it starts at above the black line. It looks like, funny enough, that the gate is still pretending to be down there. So 2 for the gate, and then we'll go up here. And we'll put our fence gate right here. And right there. Okay, good. We're in business. New product has arrived, hooray! There it is, my new... Oh, so he's deciding to go the full loop. Does he think it's faster? My goodness, look at all this. This flurry of activity. We probably could reduce the... Oh no, see, this is the problem. I thought that putting him over here would help. It didn't. Can I get another... Oh, he decides to go through him at some point. That's fine, that works. I wonder if getting a second delivery station helps. Let's try it. Just put 2 down, maybe that helps. I don't know. It definitely befuddles the the traffic instructions over here. Oh well. Yeah, we probably need a janitor at some point too. I don't think we have one. Did I get a janitor? Janitor, we have 1 hired. Okay, good. Good. Okay, so we got new parking structures. Yes, they are a little bit further away. In fact, I might turn this one to long term, and this one also to long term. But these are close enough, personally, I think. They get across pretty quickly. And this is a small enough airport. I mean, the check-in time is like 0. There's like no line for anything. So I think people will be fine. We'll see if they end up using it as long term or not, but I don't know. Yeah, okay, so what's next? How's our research going? 6 to 7, 2/3 the way through. Okay, let's get the avgas going up completely then. So this is already at 90%. Why is it at 90%? Nobody is using that. How is that possible? Let's enable this fuel. Ah, of course. So he refueled just to get ready, but he's not actually doing it yet. But I think that now that we have Jet A1 fuel started, the new flights that are coming in, obviously the ones that have already come in, will not request it. But any new people who arrive may ask for fuel, and then we'll make an additional profit that way. And it's always nice to check on how we're doing with this. Let's see. So operations-wise, repairs is, yeah, it's always going to be expensive, but so looking at about 4,300 or so for normal operating cost, of which 700 is the contractors. So not that big of a deal. Maybe like not even 20%, but that's still around 20% is the contractors. There's 700 and my staff salary is only 220. Administrative, I don't know what the corporate tax stuff is. Must be on your income. Still, we're making a profit overall. Supplier purchases, oh yeah, so actually building stuff, that did cost some money. Some staff training, it was only 187, man, it feels like it's more than that. As far as aircraft go, what's making us the most money? I mean, parking, look at how good this is. I love the parking. But aviation fuel cells, 3,300. In fact, we're making more in aviation fuel cells than we are on runway usage fees, which is pretty cool. And parking fees, yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Now, it wasn't that way before. I wonder if the aviation fuel is just like a sporadic, like an outlier, because that was pretty good. Anyways, what do we have here? What's going on? Something's complaining to me. Uh-oh. TA-123 is running late at small aircraft stand 15. Do you want to delay this flight by 1 hour? Ah. Okay, let's hit G to bring up this flight. Small aircraft stand number 15. So we're an hour late. I'm going to say, I don't understand this decision, actually. Frankly, if somebody knows what the repercussions of saying yes or saying no here is, please let me know. The thing, oh, maybe it's if one person hasn't boarded yet or something? Because I don't understand what the benefit of saying yes here is. Like, we have a pretty good reputation for arrival delays. We're at 94%. Departure delays, we're at 95%. So we're doing great. People really are satisfied. General aviation, people are happy. I mean, everyone's happy with everything except for the security rating, because we don't qualify for most of these things. We don't have any baggage going on. And operational safety is 100%, which is kind of surprising. I think the first time that something goes wrong, we probably won't retain that rating of 100%. But for now, I'll appreciate it. So let me say no. Just go ahead and take off without him. Yeah. Good riddance. But you know, I mean, why delay him for an hour? He's actually going with all 9 people. I don't know. Did I miss something? I must have missed something. Or maybe he did take off with one less person, but... Is the capacity of that aircraft 9? What is a TA-123? Okay, so 19 Beechcraft. How many people can you hold total? That's what I wish I knew. But I don't. And... yeah, I don't have access to that information. I was going to Google it, but you know, it's not that important to me. Okay, so now we have our loop, I wouldn't say perfected, but improved. And we have, I mean, just looking, the flow of traffic looks pretty good. Man, there are a lot of buses too. I don't understand why the cars use this lane. Because it seems like if they know they're going to go up here, why not go in that lane? Maybe I'm just getting ideas in the future. Maybe I should leave a, oh. I got a regional airport achievement unlocked. I don't know why. This is definitely not the farthest I've gotten in the game. Apparently this one's better than the others for some reason. Or maybe it's a cumulative, you know, across multiple games ticker that's been going up. Okay, so we got the new product, I know that. And then the project has been finished. Okay, good. So we can select a new one. What did this bring, by the way? It brought runway lights, I think. Luckily we can find out. No, we can't. Yeah, advanced runway lighting, that's all it says. Well, that's not, you know, very descriptive, but I guess that's really all it's trying to tell us. For the next one, I want to do the, there's several things to do. I mean, program 1 will help us because it'll allow us to do, like, the research you see on the bottom here, the programs, will allow you to do, like, reduction of staff salaries and all that. So I think that's pretty useful to get. At some point, at least, to unlock the ability to even do them is good. Another one we are going to want is medium aircraft permit, for sure. Emergency response units. Extended commercial license is also really good. Yeah, I think that those are probably the 3 we're lining up to do. I don't really buy that much into remote stand service. Anyway. baggage handling is its own can of worms, but let's start off with the emergency response units. And the reason why I'm going to choose this one is because this is actually the next one for the tutorial. So we'll kind of oblige them. And again, I don't know why they make you click this button multiple times every time, but they do. So I think it would be making a little more sense if they just kept the number that you already had. And even gave you a notification if you had too many and it had to reduce it. That would be nice. But like I said, UX in this game, I think it's just not the, like the winning quality about it. The winning quality is that it's a fun Tycoon game, and that's what it is. Even despite these issues, which I don't want to harp on too much because it is a good game. Just things that I'm surprised to see. I guess it's really that. Especially because this kind of game has been done. I mean, this is very similar to like Prison Architect and RimWorld in some sense, and all these, and all the other ones, the previous ones, were better than this in some degree, right? So it's just surprising that this one has elected to just not make itself as good as the others. It could follow from the example of the others, right? You know, the first time that a cell phone or whatever was made, maybe they didn't have like a touch screen on it, and they're like, that's fine. But then, you know, when everyone else has a touch screen, if you suddenly release yours and it doesn't have a touch screen, then it's kind of like, well, what were you thinking? You know, everyone can make bathrooms that aren't rectangles. Why can't you? By the way, speaking of bathrooms that aren't, probably there's going to be some people who want to use the bathroom, and I've been leaving it. Another thing, the bathrooms start closed, so you do need to remember to open them. Because that bathroom was not open, and those poor people... Well, doesn't look like anybody's rushing to use it, so maybe it wasn't a problem after all. And Wednesday... Okay, good. So Wednesday. So we want to solidify this, but everything after this we want to start moving to be on the new schedule. Let's start doing it now. I'll pause the game real fast. I'll just leave it on slow or 2 speed is fine. So this one I want to be on the hour. So instead of being at 13:20, I'm going to make it at 13:10. Sorry. Oh boy, excuse me. I had something in my throat. Had to pause the recording. So yeah, we'll confirm that. That is what I want to do on the hour. But it's on the hour plus for the top one, so plus 10 for the one below it. We have some other flights we can start filling in here. So this is plus 20. And again, so it's going to be messier and messier as the day goes on, but this is going to help us for eventually getting, yeah, this is going to have to be 1705. We don't want that. So we'll skip it for now, because that means that none of these will be able to be done, huh? What time would this one start? This is 20, so this is 30. Yeah, this one's not going to be able to do it either. Which makes sense, but okay, so if this one is 17... and this one is going to be 21. Good. So we'll just confirm that. We do have some wiggle room here, and this one will be 21:10. That's going to be easier for my brain to process. And look at this one's perfect as it is. Very nice. Did I do something wrong? Why is it so good? Alright, more we can add. This one's 21:20, so that next one will be 21:30. And then eventually, you know, we'll just keep stacking it 10 minutes later and later. No available flights. Very good. So I think I need to cut away here while we wait for this research to finish. It does take quite a long time. And I'll just come back and see what's this issue. What is it trying to warn me about? Not exactly sure. Gee, is there like a flight that's late? 20 takeoff. For which flight? MP 681. MP 681. Okay, you're due out in 20 minutes, but you're doing fine. Oh wow! I mean, they all seem like they're doing fine. I don't know why that one's. Oh, it's no longer there. So I guess it's taking off. So I guess they must be the departure time does appear to be when they leave the gate. I just don't know when the arrival thing is timed from. Okay, so I'll be back when I have the next research unlocked. Well, now that we finished the research, I just finished it too, maybe 8:29, 3 minutes ago. I think that, and by the way, when winter came, even though we're in, like, quote-unquote San Jose, but, I mean, anywhere in the Bay Area of northern, like, it's really middle California. I don't think it's snowed here in, like, decades. I mean, definitely not in a way that would coat the ground with snow, so... yeah, anyways, the weather is probably just not quite accurate. That's not that big of a deal, though. Okay, so anyways, we have emergency response stuff, which we can do, and we also added the... what is it? Oh, cool, so it did give us some extra airport utilities things. I didn't know that. Speaking of, when we got the night lights, I think that gave us the ability to add this approach lights for 10,000. And while I was off waiting for the research to finish, I don't know how long it was, maybe just 2 days. Anyways, we did accrue a fair amount of money. I left with like 1.1, we're at 1.2, a little bit over that now. And I also repaired everything. So yeah, let's add these approach lights, which, you know, for some mystery, are actually allowed to go into the tile, which I don't have anything purchased there yet. But they also appear on this side, so I don't know if that's going to help or not. Now there's another thing, which is this bird strike prevention. I think it showed. This is very expensive. You can put them down wherever you want, and they will prevent birds. If a bird contacts the circle, which you can control how large the circle, the radius is, by choosing to, you know, allocate extra money for the power. If a bird is coming in and it contacts that circle, it'll bounce back exactly in the same direction it came. Now, they say that. I don't know, but I wonder if you have a bird prevention system here, let's say you did a triangle thing, but a bird came from up here. Would it bounce off and then go back over the runway? Yeah, I think so. So just be a little bit careful about your placement. I have my own, which is a 2x2 configuration. Like one here, one here, one here, one here. Because I do want to kind of protect the planes coming in as well. I don't know at what point they consider the aircraft capable of being hit by a bird. You would imagine that actually even them being exactly on the runway wouldn't matter, because they're not in the air. But I mean, still it would be bad for them to hit a bird, just not devastating. Just, you know, they would need repairs, but it wouldn't be a catastrophe. Anyways, I'm actually going to do, of all things, I'm going to minimize that for now. Let's go to a different project. The one I want is... I want the one which gives us the better ATC. Is that medium? I think it's medium. No. Which one is it? I thought it was extended commercial license. Yeah, okay, sorry. I was looking at the R&D projects it unlocks, but right here, medium ATC with capability to handle 75 flights per day. So let's get this one next. Definitely a good one to do next would also be the medium medium commercial flights. But the reason I want to prioritize this one is because I've done a good job at this point going over flights. I don't know what point, maybe it's Friday? Okay, Thursday. By Thursday, we almost have all of our flights aligned to the new schedule. So no, I think it is Friday where it's happening. Yeah, Friday is, this is on schedule, on schedule, on schedule. Yeah, everything is on schedule for Friday. So starting with Friday, we're all good to go. But I see that we have some more that we can add here. Yeah, and it makes it a lot easier for my brain that everything just happens. We start at 1 o'clock in the morning and then we go into 4-hour intervals. So 1, 5, 9, 13, 17, 21. I also think that those are good times to fly, especially because as these flights trickle down through all 7 of our gates, by the time that this one is, you know, technically it's arriving at 5 o'clock and leaving at 8 o'clock. Another one down here is going to be arriving at like 6:30 and then leaving at 9:30. So we have a good distribution of times, I think. But I'm biased because this is my system. So I'm probably maybe prone to think it's great. But it's at least nice to know that the new system I established is going to be ready to go as of Friday. Okay. You know what? I think that this is as good a place as any for us to actually wrap up this video. Oh, wait. Ah, okay. So it's just telling us that we, okay, I didn't, this is, you do get an email every time that there's a crisis, and it lets you know how you did. They give you a grade rating, which is really just the percentage of how well you did. And then they fine you if it's not 100% perfect. Oh, this must be what we had happen. No, that guy was just taken off. I mean, it looked like he was smoking, which would be if they struck a bird or, you know, anything like that, you'd get the little smoke, sometimes the fire, which we can't put out, by the way, because we don't have a fire station yet. But that's what all this tutorial was about. Anyway, I'm just going to take a chance that we don't have a fire in the next until the middle of the next episode. So first, I think when I come back, hopefully we'll have finished extended commercial license so I can get the more flights in there. And then, yeah, we might as well do this. We're making enough money at this point that I think it's fine for us to invest in this, which is going to be more overhead, maybe a little bit unnecessary. We can probably trim back. I don't think that you need a police station. The fire truck, I understand, but I haven't used a police station in any of my games yet, so maybe that's just something I'm missing out on. Until the next episode, in any case, thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care.